Join Chase with up to 40% off. Use the special promo code on your screen at the checkout. The Cyber Monday deal ends at midnight today.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a great week and Thanksgiving week. So, as you can see, we pretty much had a follow through last week into that 60-50 level, and we're still holding into this channel here. So, bigger picture, the market path has not broken, but we all know that we are pretty much above the main channel where selling happens. So, yeah, it is time to be cautious. And we go to the chart of the Qs. This, however, gives you some sign that the market can continue going higher, because there's a lot of stocks that are lagging the market and there's a lot of stocks that are carrying the market. So that's why I still think the blue path is probably what's going to happen on SPX. I will short the market if we break 5860, which again was the pivot I mentioned and the pivot we held as we continue higher. And yeah, the fact that we're over the channel, definitely a cause for concern. But again, when you look at Qs, we have not even broken over the previous high like SPX has. And as I've told you many times before, indexes tend to follow each other. So at the very least, I could see QQQ pushing in a 525, 530, and we know the bigger picture channel on QQQ. The top of it is all the way up in 555. So we still have a lot of room for upside on the Qs. And unlike SPX, our short on the Q would be at 500. You can see here, this was the previous resistance turn support needs to hold. And let's look at the weekly chart, and you'll be able to see that we went sideways. All of October, we had that breakout in November, and now you can see post-elections, we're trying to have that post-election breakout. So if QQQ does end up holding this 500, I think 550, 560 should be easily on the cards, right? You break 500 and then like 475, 450 is pretty likely. As you can see here, this 496 to 500 is the level to hold if the market is to continue in this uptrend. We look at the chart of IWM. We've discussed how we were sideways for a year. You can see last week we had a bullish engulfing and that followed through with kind of a doji. So this week is important. IWM, we had 225 as our bear pivot. Now, I would say it needs to hold above 235. As long as it can establish that, we have the next fib target isn't up until 265. So yeah, if this is the start of a breakout, then growth should definitely be able to take off. And we look at the dollar. Yeah, we did, kind of predict that sell off. So, but again, bigger picture, I'm not bearish on the dollar. I do think we could stay sideways for a bit, but I've discussed how I do view this as an ABC. So I do think dollar does push up into that 108.7, 109.42 region. So it is important to keep an eye on that. That could cause some destability in the market. And the WIX was one of the biggest clues. We saw that it couldn't hold 17. It broke down. Now it's even breaking that $13 support. So if you do break below 13, I've discussed the $11 target. I do think any bounce likely gets rejected, which is bullish the market. And you look at the yields again rejecting here. Did allow IWM to be bullish, and again we know it is sideways in this channel, so it is important that we kind of don't break out of this 4.4 4.6 region. If you break out of that, then IWM is going to go back under pressure because high yields are not good for growth stocks. We need to keep a close eye on this to see how the yields move. That could give us broader clues on the market. So with that being said, Meta did work last week, a $10 range, but again, I was not really looking for a lot of stocks to move. So this is the week I'm putting Meta back. Is if it is to break this bull flag, it's probably going to do it this week. And if it can break by 75, 600 should be an easy target on Meta. So that's what I'm watching to see. This is resistance. This is top of the channel. And when I zoom out, you can see this is another channel as well. So yeah, wait for 575 to break to push into 600. And if you're looking for a short, the support level is here at 550. You break 550, then you can easily have a $70 short on Meta. But we are sideways and bull flags usually result to the upside. So let's see how that goes. The next one that I have on this watch list is MRK. The reason for that is I've discussed this before. You can see we've broken down the channel. We've continued to break down and we've had that oversold bounce. So yeah, that's why I think this again is our wave for this entire thing. Was our 1, 2, this is our 3, this is our 4, and then we're going down for that 5. And again, we do have an unfilled gap here at 89. So eventually I do expect this bounce to get rejected, and the bottom of the channel support is also around 90 to 89. So likely have one more low before it bounces. Thus I have MRK on the 6 watch list. The next one I have is Microsoft, and that has been sideways forever. So it's either it's squeezing sideways for a long time, usually means it's squeezing in a tight price range. So whichever direction it knows it's going to be a nice one. So pivots for Microsoft, the bull pivot is 425 to 428. You break that, you're very likely easily going to push 450, 470 and all-time highs. The bear pivot is here at 405. You break that, then it has a lot of room, right? $100 fall to the downside. It is forming a head and shoulders, but we've seen head and shoulders on Microsoft result in a bullish path a lot of times. So that's the reason. Keep an eye on the pivots. It is squeezing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks of sideways. If you count this entire structure, that's about 4 or 5 months of sideways. So it is gearing up to make a very nice move. So yeah, you can set alerts on both sides. I am thinking, based on how my charts look, that we are going to break out bullishly, but there's no harm in knowing the bear path as well. Yeah, last but not the least, the stock that I have on this week's watch list is AAL. American Airlines have been making a very nice move, and it has broken over this. You can see here, this is a demand zone. It has broken over, and you can see every time we've broken out, it's kind of had that breakdown as well to retest it. So that's why I think it is kind of extended. This does look like a 1-2, great, a 3-4 before it goes up for a wave 5, and it does. I go to the daily chart, you'll be able to see that we have a gap to fill till 14, and then we have another gap from 1355 to 1321. So yeah, you can see here, this is my trend line support. So that's the reason it's looking bearish, but I wouldn't say it's completely bearish. So I would like it to break 14.3, and then I think we do come back down to fill this gap at 13.2. This is the channel it's holding, and even if it were to have that bounce, I do think it is going to come down, fill the gap before it continues. It's trying to have a bottom reversal, but there is a lot of supply in this $15, $16 region. So we could see some selling in airlines. So yeah, that's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great day.
Join Chase to trade with Rithika and other experts. Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more Wolf's weekly wave list videos and other content.